I'm sure you would. I'd like to call this meeting of the Whitfield County Board of Commissioners to order for December 8th, 2025. Please silent or mute your cell phones, and all that are able, please stand for our invocation followed by the pledge. Commissioner Robbins.
Let us pray. Our most kind and gracious Heavenly Father, we just pause now to recognize you for who you are and all the blessings that you have bestowed upon us, dear Heavenly Father, and we just are very thankful for that. Dear Heavenly Father, we're thankful for this time of year, this season that we're in, that we can acknowledge the birth of the Christ child, dear Heavenly Father, that not only was he born in a manger, but died on a cross to save our sins. Dear Heavenly Father, we just pray that you'll go with us and guide us, forgive us where we fail you. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, may the record reflect we have all 5 commissioners present for our quorum requirements. The agenda was mailed out to the commissioners and the public about 6 days ago. I do not have any additional changes or adds to any of the commissioners' changes.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Staton to approve the agenda as presented. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. There are our standard consent agenda items related to our budget amendments and purchase orders from the prior meeting. The minutes were also sent out at the same time, about 6 days ago. That included our November and several special called meetings for budget and taxes.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve the minutes as presented, second by Commissioner Robbins, second by Commissioner Staton. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. We have an employee of the month. Let's see, this was for the month of August. We're a little bit behind. He couldn't make it previously. The public defender. And Mr. Jared Thompson. Tell us a little bit about him.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
I've
Congratulations.
written a little bit about Jared, to share some information about him with you all. He is a valued member of our office. I can always count on Jared. I never have to worry about him. He's there first thing in the morning before anybody else, and I really appreciate his dedication. But Jared keeps our office balanced by providing a calm yet assertive demeanor. His unwavering dedication and compassion ensure every client receives top-notch advocacy. Jared is the kind of employee that inevitably succeeds because of his consistency and commitment to excellence. He's a valued member, and I'm proud to have him as part of my team. I poached him from somebody else, so. He is definitely a deserving winner of this award.
Great. Yeah, and we'll have an employee of the year that we'll announce later this week, but you'll have 2 candidates in that pool, so pretty good odds. Let's
Yes.
say.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Congratulations. Thank you. Do you have anybody taking pictures? Oh, yeah. Leah's over here. We'll go over in the center.
Yep. Denise, y'all want to take a picture?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Good to see you.
Commissioners.
All right, we start off with the commissioners' reports. I'll start us off just recalling a couple of weeks ago we had our courthouse Christmas, so here's a couple of pictures. We had the tree lighting right out here. Check out the decorations on your way out the door today. We've gotten a lot of people taking selfies and community postcards and individual postcards and everything. So there was drone footage, so we're still doing the count on exactly how many, but probably close to 1,000 people came out. So we'll definitely continue this old tradition, but it's been started new again just the last couple of years for next year, hopefully as well. I don't have a slide on this, but I have gotten a few questions related to Murray County and the bio-waste facility and hearings that they've had over there. Our planning and zoning is quite a bit different. than theirs as far as, you know, the public hearings and the transparency and multiple votes would be required for anything like that in Whitfield County. So I'm 98% confident nothing like that could happen over here, especially not with everybody buying into it. But I did ask I asked Gene to review some wording, and so we're going to update that even further, get that all the way to 100%. So we're confident that if somebody wants to do that, that everybody in the whole community and all the commissioners, all the zoning boards will have a say and have a public hearing and votes on those before anything like that happens over here. So don't be too concerned about that, and we're going to make the ordinance even a little bit tougher. So that'll be looking for that in the January agenda. Rest of the commissioners, Commissioner Jones? Commissioner Thomas, anything for you?
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. I do have something. Taxes are on all of our minds, I think, and just wanted to let the public know one of my goals, and I feel like the rest of the commissioners, is to do something about taxes. And I think we're past due on that position, being an elected position. I've talked with Senator Chuck Payne, Representatives Casey Carpenter and Jason Ridley, and I think maybe some of you have as well.
Yep, we've mentioned that several times.
And they have said they would be open to that idea, and it would have to, the state would have to approve it. I don't know if the state constitution would have to be amended
Probably.
or what, but that's my number one goal for 2026. And I hope y'all join with me in that.
As the chief tax assessor is what you're referring to. Yeah.
Correct. Thank you.
Yep, no problem. Commissioner Staton?
Nothing this month.
Commissioner Robbins?
Yes, I can report that the library did have their meeting last month. Couple things to report. The library's technology center is trying to be brought up to standard because of the construction, and when they can finish the construction, they'll be able to add that as an additional feature. The library has also appointed a new director. Actually, somebody was in-house that was already on staff. And right now, we can report that there are 27,537 card holders for the Dalton-Whitfield Public Library.
And now our county administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just two items this month. On Saturday morning, we had our second annual scrap tire abatement program out at the Public Works Yard. This is funded through a grant that we pursue every year, so it's at no cost to the taxpayers. The numbers I got were that 1,153 tires were taken to the yard, and they will be disposed of in a proper manner. It's important to remember these tires, for the most part, have been in people's backyards and ditches and collecting rain in the spring and breeding ground for mosquitoes. So this not only just improves the aesthetics of Whitfield County, but also its health as well. The other thing I want to report is tomorrow at 9 a.m., the Veterans Christmas Program is taking place at the Senior Center. And I got a bit of a rundown from Julie Dyer, who's the program supervisor or director there. That will be at 9 a.m. They will have a few speakers. Commander Jim Levine of American Legion Post 112 will be there to give a presentation. Also, Don and Dottie Dexmeyer and Jim Jordan will be talking about service in Korea and in Vietnam. There will be 12 quilts of valor presented to area veterans. And I found this a little humorous. They've arranged for Cracker Barrel, our friends at Cracker Barrel, to provide biscuits and gravy and coffee. However, there is a more healthy alternative. There's also fruit available as well.
Fruit is available.
So for those who are under doctor's orders. So that's at 9 a.m. tomorrow. They've already had more than 60 people RSVP. So if you want to attend that and you're a veteran or veteran's loved one, feel free to do so. That's all I have.
We'll start with our finance report, our CFO, Ms. Godfrey.
Hello. Let's talk about October. So we collected the following amounts through the end of October. Lost, which is sales tax, is $12.8 million year-to-date. Vehicle tax is 4.9 million. Total revenue is 35.6 million, and we have paid out 53.2 million in expenditures through the end of October. As I said, total revenues collected through 10/31 are 35.7 million. Let's keep in mind that this does include those extra payments from solid waste and the LMIG, so that's making it look a little higher than what was budgeted. Projected revenues for October were 32.3, so again, that's because of those extra payments. Collections for the same period last year were 34.7 million. Total expenditures through October 31st were 53.3 million, and projected expenditures through October were 53.2 million, so very close to actual. And for the same time period last year, we had spent 50.8 million. Through October, revenue is $3.4 million higher than what we originally budgeted due to those additional payments. And we have spent only $46,000 more than budgeted through October. But that creates this surplus of $3.3 million as of the end of October. And then our SPLOST from 24, our total collections for the 13 months that we've collected are $24.5 million. And our total expenditures for that same period, which are paid and encumbered, are $21 million.
Any questions on the finance?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Staton to approve the October financial report. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Robbins. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. All right, we'll start with public comments. I know there's a couple people that asked to be on the agenda, but this first public comment is just for items that we just approved. So anything that we're about to vote on, of course, we welcome your comments before we vote. So feel free to come and just tell us your name and address if you have any items on the agenda. Any public comments? All right, we'll move into that agenda now. The first one is a public hearing. We're not taking any action. We've had 2 budget hearings already right here in the courthouse in November, and so this is our third, I guess, public hearing. We'll vote to accept the 2026 budget a week from today, and we'll be posting an update to that budget tomorrow on our website. If you need a copy of it tonight or want to be emailed a copy of it, we're happy to take your name and your email address and send that to you personally, but you can also pull it down from the website sometime Tuesday morning if you want to get the latest. We'll still be refining it. We have a couple more meetings to go, but this is your chance to give us feedback. If you have cost savings, we do have a couple of challenges in 2026, to put it mildly. On the revenue side, for example, as she alluded to, we received an early payment, which is a good thing, but from an accounting standpoint, we're receiving 2026 revenue, and we have to do the expenses to offset that next year. So it kind of creates a negative balance there. So you saw the surplus there. We're probably going to be using some of that surplus to pay off our health care for this year and to pay off, fill some holes in our budget for next year because of the timing of some of these revenue items. On the expense side, we've got challenges with health care. You've probably seen all that in the news, all the way from Washington, D.C., right down to Dalton. There's problems with health care expenses. So ours are up dramatically. So we're looking at like a 6-month hiring freeze to kind of keep our cost and our head count in line so we can somehow absorb and find ways to cover this dramatic health care cost for the existing employees. We certainly don't want to add a lot of new employees that would just increase that cost even more. So that's some of the things we're looking at. I think even our IT director is looking at AI. So when we have a hiring freeze, if somebody does leave, then we can potentially use AI to make the existing staff more efficient, so they can fill in, not have to work overtime or feel the stress of people that we can't fill those positions immediately. So we're trying to pull out all the stops, that's for sure. But if anyone wants to give us comments, or if you can, of course, email us or leave us your feedback, on the budget or items you want us to consider cutting or increasing, either one, feel free to come forward at this time. Any other questions or comments on the budget? Again, you can always email us between now and next Monday. We'll continue to make changes to that and get the latest version out there on the website so you can see where we are and how much more we got to go. Okay, I will close this budget hearing. We'll move on to the rest of the agenda items. As Commissioner Thomas mentioned, a lot of questions about the 2024. Thousands of you, not everybody, but thousands of people got a second property tax bill. This is just a reminder that the Board of Commissioners did not want that. It actually proposed and lobbied for that not to occur in the mid-cycle, if you want to call it that, assessment, which is what triggered that second bill, as opposed to just doing it annually. Understand that there's a compliance from the state. We have to get compliance. The Board of Assessors had to get compliant because they got nasty gram letters from the state and were being threatened with fines and everything else. But regardless, that was not the will of the commissioners, but I did want to reaffirm that the tax commissioner has the ability for those that are really financially struggling to make payments to waive those fees and interest. So he already has that ability, but this is more just to reaffirm it. And obviously, you made a similar comment along a different lines, Commissioner Thomas, but any other comments or questions about this, trying to get over this hump and get this second and final 2024 payment? Like I said, the tax commissioner already has this ability. It's not in every county, but in our county, he does in this case. So we're just reaffirming that, and feel free to work with him if you are struggling and financially challenged to pay that second bill. Is there a motion to just approve this, these statements? Motion by Commissioner Robbins. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Staton. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. Beverage license. So every year we review all of the license holders, the current holders, and so we have to reapprove those if there's been complaints or if they have run into some kind of criminal or legal issues in the course of the year. We can pull back their license and not renew it. So we will do that due diligence to make sure there hasn't been any unknown. I'm not aware of any complaints or legal issues, but we always run background checks and double check that. But pending anything that pops up on those background checks, is there a motion to approve the current alcohol license holders for 2026?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Staton. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Thomas. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. We spoke about healthcare. It's going up next year, but it also actually went up this year over our initial estimates, or my initial estimates. They want me to take the blame for that, which I do. But you know, it's a guess anyway. And so it's over 1.5 million. And so you saw we had a surplus for this year so far through October. Hopefully we can build that up a little bit further to use it in our fund balance and help us in 2026. But for this year, we have to true up that healthcare payments because we're self-insured for 1.5 million. Is there a motion to approve that budget amendment?
So,
Motion by Commissioner Thomas. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. We have a really good relationship with the UGA and our county extension. They provide a lot of good services from diet to budgets to helping our farmers. And they ask that all the counties update their agreements with UGA because it hadn't been done since 2019. So we just need a motion to approve that MOU. That's a memo of understanding with UGA.
so moved.
Motion by Commissioner Thomas. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Robbins. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. You've seen us start on the west side park. We've looked at designs, architects, as well as contractors. We've had good success with this company that will test the soil, so we don't have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars fixing it after it's built if the foundation cracks or you have settling or something that's unexpected happens. So well worth it to spend $25,900 now to test and make sure we do the right foundation and construction over there.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve Terracon for $25,900 out of the SPLOST 2024 funds. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. Opioid grant, I had to sign this earlier because it was, there was a deadline coming, but I do need ratification. Usually it's not a problem to accept a grant. We've won some opioid lawsuits. This one is actually a grant to provide testing supplies to our lab, where we provide drug services and things like that right here to test individuals that have been released. Motion to approve that grant from the opioid abatement.
Motion.
Motion, Commissioner Staton, in a second. Second by Commissioner Robbins. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed? Passes on a 4-0 vote. Very lengthy, actually well-written transit safety plan from our department, working with GDOT. This is required to get these federal grants that we do that help fund our transit system all across the county. So we just need annual approval of the Board of Commissioners for that plan.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Thomas. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. Putting in 2 culvert boxes on Crow Valley Road. There was quite a few of these on the 2024 SPLOST, so working our way down from a priority list as far as ones that are failing or about to fail and getting those done first. Old Castle was the lowest bid at $106,633.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Staton to approve on the 2024 SPLOST. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. We've got 7, I believe it is, 7 rezones. One, letter D, was a fairly controversial one, and the developer has asked that we postpone that one indefinitely. So they're going to rethink that one. I'll take that one separately. Item D, from GA to rural R5. Is there a vote to postpone, or motion to postpone that rezone?
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Thomas is second. Second by Commissioner Robbins. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. That postponed is approved by a 4-0 vote. The other 6 items, A through G, not counting D, were all unanimously approved by zoning. Did anybody have a problem with those, or okay to take those as a slate?
I make a motion to take them as a slate, recommendation of the Planning Commission.
Motion by Commissioner Robbins to take the remainder as the same approval that the planning and zoning gave.
So they did not approve the one with the 6 to
It was
800
po-
houses. That's the one that's postponed.
That's postponed, and the other one goes to Varnell that was also controversial. We would never see that one, but
Okay.
yes.
All right.
These, I don't know anybody spoke in opposition, but definitely they were all approved, 5-0, that's for sure. Was there a second? Did I get a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Staton. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand, say aye. Any opposed, nay. The remaining 6 pass on a 4-0 vote. The fire department has 6 items they would like to surplus and sell on GovDeals. I usually like to look at either 150,000 miles or 18 or 19 years, and I think they did a good job on all of these. They're either right at 150,000 miles or 17 to 20 years old. So definitely got our money's worth out of all these items. Is there a motion to declare surplus and auction on GovDeals?
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Staton. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. Also now for some purchases for the 2024 SPLOST. This is our simulator, flashover simulator. I think the one we have now has been used for many, many decades, probably on its last legs. We'd have to pay 50% down. It's a long lead time, so we won't get this well into 2026, maybe in the summertime or so, and then we'll pay the remainder on it. But this was on the SPLOST approved by the citizens for 2024.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Staton, approve, $101,230. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Jones. You want to talk about it?
Is
Yeah, further discussion?
Chief Patterson, could you quickly tell us exactly what that is?
Come up here. It's tough when you get my age to move quickly.
It doesn't get any easier as you get to my age.
So the flashover simulator allows us to, just as the name says, to simulate a flashover condition in which the contents of a room flash over and create a tremendous amount of heat and fire. And so when we certify firefighters to the level that the state of Georgia requires, they have to have a live fire burn. This will allow us to do that. Without this, we would either have to wait on the burn building to be built, or we'd have to contract with Dalton Fire to use their equipment. And that's when things get a little sketchy. This is something that will, one, keep it a little bit safer because of the way that it's built to simulate this flashover, but it will create a bunch of scenarios that the firefighters will be able to use to take their training a lot further than what is being taken now. So,
Thank you.
yeah, so that's a good thing for us. Thank you.
Any further comments or discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. The Sheriff's Office has a couple of items. We've been gradually replacing anywhere from 5 to 7 of the HVAC units that were original on the jail from 2000, I think, 2001, whatever it first went into service. So the next round is the 7 that are the highest maintenance and most likely to fail in the near future. Total of $199,940 for 7 units on the SPLOST 2020.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Jones. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Thomas. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. They also need to replace the 23-year-old commercial washer, again, original with the jail, to wash all the clothes for the inmates, the bed and breakfast residents, as we call them.
Motion to approve.
Motion for $41,000 for Southeastern Laundry on the SPLOST 2020 by Commissioner Staton. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. All right, we're ready for public comment. I know a couple of folks want to speak. Doesn't have to be on the agenda item. Just a reminder, you have 5 minutes. We're not here to debate or yell or scream at each other, so keep it civil. And if you do have questions, we don't have any data up here. We have the exact same screens that you have that you're looking at, so we can't look up data or give you information. But we're happy to take your questions and make sure somebody gets back with you this same week. Ms. Bradford, if you'd like to start, I know you called.
First off, I would like to thank the board for giving me the opportunity to speak to you guys and to introduce myself. I am Martha Bradford. I live in Red Wine Cove on the south end of Whitfield County. I know some of you guys, I know a lot of the people in the room, and I'm very thankful that we do have good leadership. But along going with that, we have citizens in our end of the county that are not happy with a lot of things that we've been dumped on. And I called the other day because just as I drove up here a while ago, the emissions being let off from the new processing plant at the Carbondale Park. I have been contacted by hundreds of our neighbors. I'm pretty known on our end of the county, and everybody has different issues. Everybody has different wants. But I have explained to them, as I did to Mr. Jensen on the phone, I don't believe in vigilante. I think there is always a solution to every problem. We just need to get to where everybody can come to a solution that is the best for everyone, not just the few. Things that have happened to us on the south end of the county, I've been there since I was 5 years old. I left Tilton and went to Red Wine Cove, and I've been married with my husband for 45 years. It's amazing the things that I have seen. We moved here when I was 5 years old. My parents owned Brown Trucking Company on Tilton and Carbondale Road. The situations and the things that I've seen just in the years has always came back to serious health issues. And for those of you that know me, I am a PFAS advocate. I did go against Casey Carpenter, Mr. Ridley, and everybody else and testified at the Capitol back in February. And the reason I testified, I prayed for years. I grew up in Sherwood Forest, and in Sherwood Forest alone, I had the same time in June of 2000 when I lost my kidney to cancer, the second bout I had with cancer. Now I'm on chemotherapy again for an unknown and new, possibly type, that Duke University, Emory University, Birmingham Hospital, all these major hospitals and doctors that I am being studied by, keep bringing it all right back to environmental. I and my husband do not have very long left, and we will be nothing but just a thought at some point in time. But I cannot honestly sit here and say that I do not blame what has happened to my husband 1,000% on the carpet industry, because I do. He is a very well-known man in this town. He's an industrial electrical engineer. We traveled around the world doing contract work for many countries. A lot of y'all don't know that about us. He took upon himself to voluntarily stand in for one gentleman that he worked with as a contractor at the Mohawk plant in Laramie. He worked there 2 years solid with 9 days off. In those 9 days, he became very ill. He dropped. He had never had a cold. He had never had the flu. He had never been hospitalized, nothing. Very physically fit, very intelligent man to be on the job over there and drop to the floor. We knew in 3 days he was terminal with 4 rare diseases that struck him at one time. 2, there is absolutely no treatment. It has been going on for 10 years. He is home now. I had to find a sitter to come. He is completely bedridden now, and I promised myself I wasn't going to do this. Pardon me. But when I see myself and all of my neighbors, and on Red Wine Cove Road alone, every home has been hit with cancer. My doctors that I have been working with for years. My first bout of cancer was when I was 19 years old living in Sherwood Forest. I was able to have 1 child, therefore I was not able to have any more. Dalton Utilities used to run through Sherwood Forest on a regular basis when we was kids playing in the creek. Get out of there, we're going to tell your parents, you know, we got some problems right now. But they were all on first name basis back then. Everybody was cousins and neighbors and that worked at the utilities. So we'd get out, they'd come back through, okay, I'll go back. We didn't know, we were kids. But when I came through a while ago, I called and I spoke again. I'm gonna repeat myself about this stench coming from this plant. It is so sickening. It is nauseating. It will make you sick to your stomach. I came home from North Carolina in August because we had to. We stayed there because we feel better there. The air quality is better. We can't sit in our house because Engineered Floors is built, as very well y'all know, Greg, you know, is adjacent to our property. Since the PFAS contamination has took place, I'm out of time, and I'm nowhere near what I need to say. We have the highest levels in the south end of Whitfield County, and my doctors has made it very clear, and it is on record, and when I testified at the Capitol, it is on record. We have the highest levels of kidney, bladder cancers in the south end of Whitfield County, and then the whole nation combined. Back years ago, in 2000, my doctors asked, there was a team of doctors, asked government officials, anyone in the state of Georgia, we need to do a study. We've got to come to Whitfield County. There's something going on. Shut down like nothing going on. Done. We battled it for years. We keep battling it. My neighbors battle it. We all battle it. But I want you guys to pay attention. Y'all keep dumping all this industry down there. We just would like to know what is coming our way. Something's got to be done with that poultry or whatever it is over there now. Engineered Floors, my house stays lit up like Hartsfield Airport 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we live on a multiple 100-acre farm. We don't have the privilege anymore. But we have several issues. We would like to see a grocery store in our area. We would like to see a pharmacy, a walk-in clinic, something to benefit us down on the south end of the county. Chicken houses, that explosion, is ridiculous. Between the chicken house smell, me and my neighbors, and this other smell that outsmells the 3 restaurants we have. You can't go enjoy a meal. Go to Gordon County, buy our groceries, do our shopping, because to avoid the smell, it's that nauseating. I'm sorry I did not get a chance to get through all of my neighbors' complaints, but there is one that I do want to give you some good news on. With the deal with the data center building and what has been happening with traffic, okay? Of course, the people in that area have been very vocal about it. I asked them to please let me just go be the buffer about it, because I've dealt with the road situation. I'm dealing with the road situation and Cove Drive and the railroad, as we all know now. It's not Whitfield County's fault that the state of Georgia's wheels don't turn quicker to get the situation rectified, what they call safety, to get those trucks going in the right direction. But sometimes the people just need to hear it from you guys. What is, it's not on us. We have promised to do this. We're going to do it this way. But now we have to wait on the state level to do their part before we can ever even do this part. And after I talked for about 3 hours to a big group, it was calm. But they didn't know the understanding behind it all. And I hope that I can continue to be a liaison. I hope that I can be an advocate and anything to help between the board and us citizens in South Whitfield County. I am more than welcome to work with anybody. And the reason the crowds aren't here is had to do a lot with the fact that I asked them not to come to be vigilante about anything. We're going to be diplomatic. We're going to present our situation, and hopefully you all will listen.
Yep.
Help us.
Yep, thank you for that
Please.
offer. I appreciate it.
Please, help us.
Yep,
Thank you. And can I leave this with you?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, and I hope you all will get to read all of this, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Other public comments? Yep, just give us your name and address.
Richard Hall, and I'll continue what she said. The group's called Essentia Protein Company, and they produce dog food and all this supplements. The stench is so bad you can't even sit at Valley Point and watch the kids play football. They've got to do something. We are the dumping ground for Whitfield County. Greg Jones, the way the map draws out, yeah, you can sit up in Whitfield County up there in West Side and not have to deal with the southwest corner like we do. We get all the crap because the way it's district out. Before you, Pete Pangle, he was in West Side. We've not had nobody to live in our area on the southwest corner of Whitfield County and represent us. We have nobody to follow through. Yes, let's approve these billion-dollar companies, and nobody never wants to go and follow through and see if they live up to what they say. The data company said, we're going to use Enterprise Drive to access the property. That's a bunch of baloney, because I live on Tilton. Y'all put signs up, no trucks. Guess what? All their heavy equipment's going down there. And these fine police officers have been giving tickets left and right to them people because they said they was going to access Enterprise Drive. The data center people was here. They're using Tilton Road. Somebody needs to go down there and look. Y'all need to come down there. Let's come on down there. I mean, everybody come down there and smell that garbage. We breathe it day in, day out. We can't even sit in our yard. Y'all know as kids, we would ride our bicycles out, play in the woods, have a good time outside. The kids can't even go outside without getting sick from the smell. They come in, what's that smell? What's that smell? You've run our exit. You get off the interstate, you smell it. I was at the Pilot over there at the truck stop. People's out there pumping gas. What's that odor? What's that odor? Well, it's that place they just approved right over there to come in our neighborhood and dump smell. So now, like they said, we got the rotten chicken houses all dumped on us. Now we've got this protein pump and all this whatever out in the air, and we all having to breathe it. I mean, we have to have some representation. We voted for everybody to be in office. We expect somebody to represent us. We give you the keys to the car to drive. You have all drove the car off the cliff. We have nobody on the south end of the county. And guess what? If the ball place, if I was the commissioner, I'd put it in y'all's front yard and let y'all live with this mess and see how it is. It's not a happy situation. We cannot live in peace on our end of town. There's no way. And every time you approve something, people does not stand on their word. Like the data center. Here they come flying down Tilton Road all the time, the trucks. There was one of the trailers that they used down there, went down the middle of Tilton wide open, flying, hauling them two-part trailers for like the contractors use on the facilities. Here goes excavators. Here goes dump trucks. There was a fleet of dump trucks. I don't know how many. You probably asked Darren Pierce how many dump trucks was going down through there, wide open, flying on Tilton. After y'all put signs up says no trucks. But guess what? Nobody can understand it. We still get trucks. I was coming up here today. Here come 2 trucks. They was going over to LX Pontos up in that new business park that y'all decided to put in the middle of a cow pasture. I mean, the infrastructure's not there. Why not develop the bypass? If you look where Pilot is, to Airport Road, there's not even a gas station. There's nothing developed on the bypass. They've got the infrastructure on the bypass to withstand these big companies and all this stuff. Rather than put it all on us, we're down there in the bottom corner. And like I say, crap runs downhill. It really does, the southwest corner of Whitfield County. Because I promise, if any of y'all come down there, you'd see what we're talking about. We need true representation. I mean, it's all the time. It's something we're having to come up here and complain about because it's like, approve, approve, approve. These billion-dollar companies want to come to town, but guess what? We lived here before them. We've been in this area our whole lives. We love where we live at. But you know what I think the deal is? Run us all off, and that way you can live up in West Side and have all of South Whitfield to do whatever you want to because you have nobody down there to vote against you or go against nothing. I think that's the grand scheme, to run all of us off. That way you have all the property, you do whatever you want with the southern end of the county because that's what happens. We have nothing luxury on our end. We've got the stinkingest, the nastiest part of the whole county. You don't smell these smells in the rest of the county. We're the one lives with it day in and day out. You cannot even enjoy a peaceful day on your back porch. I mean, it's sorry. I mean, we vote for representation, not just to support these billion-dollar companies that just, okay, let's go, because God knows what the next big thing will be in the business park will be, because, I mean, it's true. Nobody goes down there to that protein plant and say, what are y'all doing? Look what you're doing to the people that voted for us in office. Y'all need to control your odors. You need to get this under control because you should not be affected. You imagine the kids at recess at Valley Point when they go outside trying to play on the playground having to breathe this stuff. You really want the kids to grow up breathing this stuff? Them kids will be dead before they're 21 for some kind of airborne disease they're breathing. We don't know what they're pumping out in the air. They ain't nobody knows. But it's a foul stench, and the kids should not even breathe that, not even us. I mean, we live right there. I don't live 100 yards, basically, the way the crow flies from it. It blows right to my wind. And when the ceiling's low, you might as well forget it. You cannot go outside. Somebody needs to go down there and talk to them people, or y'all need to bring them up here and let's all confront them face to face and say, hey, what are y'all doing? We need to know what's going on in our area in the county.
Yeah, Martha was the first one to bring it to my attention. I hadn't heard any complaints yet, but I definitely
Come on
heard.
to my house.
I
I'll cook you a
will.
steak dinner, and you can sit on my front porch.
Go to Valley Point Middle School, you'll smell it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Everybody
go
in
to
the whole
Carbondale.
town.
Get out of your car, go
Yeah.
toward Valley Point.
Well, you're in your car.
I plan to.
The smell's so small it comes through your
Okay,
vehicle.
all right, all right. We got the next person coming up.
Stacy Doran, Chattanooga Road, Tunnel Hill. I don't live in that area, but just this week I was traveling south. My husband and I, we were like, what in the world? On 75, it is putrid. I could not imagine living there. And it just took a minute. He's like, that smells like dog food. And we figured out exactly what it was. And we're going 70 miles an hour down the interstate. It is terrible. So y'all really should drive down there.
Yeah, they do not make dog food, but we will definitely check it out.
It's on their page. They do make dog food down there. I got the picture right here. It shows the products they make right there. Pet food ingredients right there. They make stocks, broths, taste, flavor items. They make pet food ingredients. It's right there on their homepage. That's what the smell's coming from. There it is.
Philip King, 139 Vester Lane, Dalton, Georgia, South Whitfield County. Just the meetings that I've been to and that I've seen and that I've heard about this last year, there's a lot of frustration, obviously. And to me, it all kind of stems from the same root. It just feels like in the last 5-10 years, there's been this huge drive in Whitfield County for development. And development at the same time and ignoring the cost. And I don't think that the people of Whitfield County are seeing the benefits of that. Since 2016, we've had an unemployment rate of 4%, roughly, not counting the COVID year. So most of the new employment is not going to people in this county with all these new developments and corporations that we're bringing in. There's always the argument that it's going to bring in more tax revenue. I'm sure most people in this room are like myself. My property taxes have doubled in the last 6 years. That's way higher than the rate of inflation. So, I mean, if all this increased tax revenue is supposed to benefit the people of this county, then, I mean, really, our property tax should be going up below the rate of inflation, but we should at least be breaking even with inflation. But I mean, my property taxes have doubled. Inflation in the last 6 years is roughly 30%, not 100%. And so we're not seeing the benefit of this push to industrialize this county. And I think we're caught in kind of a classic trap that a lot of small economies get into, where they're giving up per capita growth just for total growth. And it looks good on a balance sheet, but you're getting in this negative cycle where you industrialize, well, then that creates a need for more tax revenue because you need more infrastructure. And if you do bring in more employment, well, then you need more housing, you need more infrastructure for that, and then you need more schooling. Well, then you need more tax revenue. So then we got to bring in more industry. And it's just this never-ending loop, and I feel the frustration of these people, and it's ridiculous. And the AI data center is a great example. You know, there was a lot of half-truths that were presented to the local media. I was at that meeting. And it was shoved through against a unanimous room. This room was full out into the hallway, that data center was. And the rezoning was shoved through on that. And there was a school board member that stood up here and spoke against it, that works for a company that provides security for a lot of these data centers. His concerns were ignored. In fact, we were told that this was going to benefit the school system. We were told it was going to benefit Dalton Utilities. In the local media, that was said, that it was going to benefit Dalton Utilities. That was a slap in the face to the people in that part of the county, because we're already facing land evaluation for the PFAS litigation. And now we're going to do a data center, and one of the talking points that was supposed to be positive is going to benefit the people that have already devalued our land. And so it's just ridiculous. But the one thing that was maybe sounded like a true benefit of that data center was the increased tax revenue. Well, 6 months later, we find out they're getting a 50% tax abatement from the Joint Whitfield Authority. And from what I can see, that was never announced, even though I'm sure that deal was contingent on that, because there's no way they would have given it to them if that had not already been agreed upon. So it just seems like there's a lot of obfuscation and a lot of, there's a lack of transparency with a lot of stuff. And we're not seeing the benefits. Our taxes are not, any appreciably better than the counties around us. And I think at one point we need to ask, we think it's such a good deal to bring in this industry, and we think, oh, we give them these tax cuts to bring them in. Well, maybe we should ask why the other counties around us are not doing that to the same degree that we are. After that AI data center meeting, there was roughly a dozen Georgia counties in the state of Georgia that have passed moratoriums and pauses on AI data centers over the same concerns that we voiced here. And in those counties, the leadership listened to their people. And only one of you listened to us that day. And we just like the same consideration that people around our state of Georgia are getting in their counties. And so I hope that in the future that the cost of industrialization and development will be weighed more heavily. And instead of just looking at a balance sheet at the proposed tax revenue that's going to come in, they'll look at things like pollution and light pollution and smells and chemicals and traffic and future tax needs that it's going to bring, because you're going to have to upgrade the infrastructure and everything to go with that. There's just so many trade-offs involved, and I just don't feel like those have been considered in the past. And finally, I want to say that I'm as conservative as anybody. I'm for tax cuts. I'm for business. But that's not a free market. When you have $1 million land developers and $500 million AI data centers that are paying a lower effective tax rate than our homeowners and our small businesses, our muffler shops and our farmers and our HVAC repairs and our small business, that's not a free market. That's corporatism, that's cronyism, and that's what destroys small communities. And I hope that will be considered in the future.
Hi, my name's Rose Dean. I live at 4672 Old Dixie Highway. I had no intention of getting up here and talking. I came to listen. So I'm not prepared, but I want to tell you how I feel. I agree with what they've all said. I hope each one of you will ride down there and just smell. We have to deal, I have two ways to come to Dalton. I can come up 41, or I can go up Old Dixie through, the back way. I either hit the horrible smell coming up 41 of the processing plant, or if I go up the Old Dixie way, then I hit the chicken house smell. So I don't go that way. I go to Calhoun to do my shopping because I can't stand the smell. My granddaughter, my youngest one, is 4 years old. She can't come to my house to play in the yard because she will tell me, Cammy, it stinks. What is it? They don't want to go outside. I have a swimming pool. I dread this summer. That's my enjoyment as a retired educator. I taught at Valley Point for years. But I know I'm not going to be able to enjoy that pool this year. I taught health and PE at Valley Point for years. My heart hurts for those kids for PE because I know those teachers can't stand to take them out now. So I hope you'll at least come see what we got going on.
I'm Karen Roark. I live in Crow Road, Dalton, Georgia, the north end of the county. But, and I'm coming on a matter that I've been, your administrator apparently doesn't recognize that I've been 4 other times, and it's on YouTube, and he's sitting in the meeting just like today. And he said he'd never seen me present pictures or anything, so I don't know what he's doing up there if he doesn't take notes or know what's going on. But I'm coming because I was promised back December the 9th last year. Ken Benson came up and we went out there and we walked it again, and he said, and Javin Jensen said it's half done because we had pictures of the other side. We've got to get this side done. And so Ken went out, we decided what we would do or what needed to be done. And he said, soon as it dries up, he'll have Brackett and him, and they'll, because they couldn't take the equipment, which I agree. When it's wet, you can't do anything with equipment. We were in construction 40-something years. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Well, I had to be out of town to take care of a sick relative for 6 months. I came back, and it's starting to rain again, and nothing had been touched. I didn't get a call. I didn't get anything, so I just thought everything was going smoothly. Well, I called Kent, and he said, didn't the county administrator call you? He told me that he was going to call you. No, I didn't receive a call from him, period. And I said no, so that's when I came and started to see what was going on. And so he told me that the county attorney said nothing could be done on private land. Well, I've got pictures where the other side was definitely private land. It was all our farm, both sides, and we sold that side off. And it's over 100 feet right away up on their private land. So it's like the haves and the have-nots gets work done. I also been in touch with DOT. It is our county's responsibility if you fix a road, and you have to, you can't just put huge tile, and the attorney should know this. You can't put huge tile and not plan for the drainage. You have to provide for drainage. If you build a road up ceiling high, it's going to have to have drainage on each side. You've got to have the ditches, and you've got to have an outlet. You can't just put it on private land. You're worried about ordinance. There's ordinance about that. You have to have a drainage system. And if you cut the road, which they didn't notify us, I was told they're supposed to notify people on each side when they're redoing the road. These little bitty tiles, of course, didn't put as much water on our private land as these huge things that I can walk inside. And they're sticking over on our right-of-way, too. They're not even with the 40-foot right-of-way. Some of the tiles is sticking over on our land. They cut trees down on our land. They didn't even ask. They put a fence, a little thing like you do construction. It won't hold water. They put it, and I've got pictures if you need to see it, right there. Well, it was a little bitty pond. Well, it's dry weather right now. It's bigger than the pond I had dug at my other house from this water coming off this thing and off the other side. The other side where they fixed it, it's smooth sailing. They've got the ditch right where the ditches were originally. Our ditch is not there originally because, and theirs wasn't either, but they redug it when they redone the road about a year ago. It was just like ours, all messed up, and they went on private property and fixed all that. And then on our side, they've got trees growing up in the tile they fixed in 78, 50 years ago. The trees are probably 48 years. A tree guy come and told me that they never kept clean. Well, it's going to make the stream go different. And the new big old concrete thing, they put it there. Another place they cut the road into, they just threw riffraff, that big old rock, all over, not within your right-of-way. It's all in my land, and water is just sitting there, and that they didn't finish a drain of any sort out from it. The right-of-way, I couldn't get anybody here to give me the right-of-ways except 40 feet. They did tell me that. And, but I did get DOT. They at least return calls, where some people around here don't return calls to their own citizens. And they call me, they've sent me maps and everything, and it shows the new bridge, but it's not legit out. But it shows the borders that you had, and it is 40 feet. It is not all this other where you've dumped stuff on it. All the stuff, I had North Georgia Electric come out. It's not their stuff that was dumped. It was all the trees you cut on the other side. You've just dumped it there. Now water's soaking underneath there. That place is just completely flooded, and it wasn't before they cut the road this new time. And there's no drainage on this side of the road, none. And you can't build a road up that high without doing it. You can't put big concrete boulders in and just throw rock in there and think that's drainage. I've had several people that's in charge of transportation, and they said that you've got to have planning done before you actually do it. And then these big tiles, they cut the road. So once you cut the road into and you put new drainage systems, you can't just let it dump into private land. That's against all the ordinance in the state of Georgia. You cannot just put it there. And I took these pictures yesterday because you think that, I don't know what you think that I'm making up. I'm not making up anything. This guy, the county administrator, I can give you, or if you want me to play it, what he called and left a message on my phone.
We're out of time, but yeah,
Okay.
you can give us our pictures, so.
Okay, but the
If they're
pictures-
recent pictures, yeah, he'll take them up.
This is the private land on the other side that you were on, and that's not the
Yep.
right of way. Okay, there's,
And Kent is working on it. Yeah, thank you, sir.
well, somebody needs to get a grip on this because they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And the county administrator is somebody, I have never said anything bad about anybody in our county, but he treated me like I was dirt. And he called me on on a Sunday and left a message on my phone, and I've got it on my phone, telling me what he wouldn't do and what he wouldn't, and that I never called him back. I've got messages on my phone where I called him, and he would never return my calls. And then he has the gall to call me and say, you hadn't got back with me. I got my secretary
All right,
to look
Ms.
up
Ward.
the board meeting.
Thank you.
So. Well, that's what this is what it was last year when I came. This is what it is today. Now, I don't know if you need the new bridge or whatever, but I just can't let this get out because it's still not
Yeah.
public knowledge. And then we've also have meetings going on that are not even publicized. And you can go in and you can, if you get somebody at DOT to tell you how this, and the bridge work and all that stuff, the bridge is not, shouldn't even be opened probably with the condition it's in. But I'm not wanting my property to be valued any. You said you're not gonna help with the value of my property. That's not what I'm asking for. I'm asking for it to be like it was before you dumped on it. And it's not my fault that the water's over there. It's because y'all didn't do drainage. So
Okay.
that should be removed.
Thank you.
And I have to say one more thing. My county commissioner, I've asked calls for him for 30, and he stood right here and told me. I said, why have you not called me back? He said, because I don't know enough about it to talk to you. Well, I'm a school teacher. I've had to look up this stuff to know what's going on. The commissioners, we vote you in to do this stuff for us. Thank you for considering whatever you're gonna do, but I think something's gotta be done.
Any other public comment? All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
Think somebody.
Oh,
Good evening, gentlemen. My name is Sandra Ellis. I live at 226 Camden Way in Dalton. I'm here to kind of follow up with these people who have been speaking out about the south end of the county. And as I told you, Mr. Jensen, I voted for every one of you guys to lead our county with consideration for all your constituents and to solve many of its issues. Unfortunately, we've had some problematic disappointments. My concerns at this point is the south end of the county and its continued destruction. As Ms. Bradford presented to you, and I myself, Lisa Adams, and Beth Pulliam brought before you, there has been little concern for the communities impacted by these industrial companies. The south end has become a dumping ground. Historic neighborhoods like Carbondale, Red Wine Cove, Tilton, and South River Bend have all been impacted by your decisions with seemingly no concern for the people who live there. The voices of your constituents were not heard because y'all chose not to listen. You haven't considered anything that would improve these areas. No affordable housing, no grocery or shopping areas. They don't even have a dollar store that I'm aware of. And we have dollar stores everywhere. We already have enough issues with PFAS. Swamp Creek is polluted because of it. Now I've learned about the odors coming from Essentia Foods, causing breathing problems. We've had enough contamination. Lisa, Beth, and myself came before you privately to oppose the rezoning in Carbondale to heavy manufacturing. Petitions from concerned citizens were ignored. And Mr. Civic, you were very rude and condescending towards us, indicating we were losers and didn't understand capitalization. Yes, we do understand, but when constituents oppose what's destructive for their communities instead of how to make them better, their voices are not being heard. This is not the will of the people in South Whitfield. We are asking for you to consider these areas to make them better. Enough is enough, and we're all just tired of it. We have, lastly, thank you, Mr. Jensen, for contacting me regarding the rezoning that has, for the moment, been tabled. But let me say, there's much opposition to all the rezoning and building that's going on in our county. Perhaps you guys know something that we don't know, but think that we've had enough of the building, and we're all concerned about how it affects everybody in the county with all these building and construction going on. Thank you for your time and your attention and your consideration for the problems of South Whitfield County. My goal is let's preserve, not destroy. Thank you for your time.
Good evening, gentlemen. Today I will be handing you a copy of your oath of office, your sworn oath of office, so you can personally verify that the signatures I have are accurate and that the words you pledged actually mean something. I want to hand these to you, and I would like to have them back. They're in order. Just sing, they're in order. Mr. Robbins, if you can take them and just pass there, you each have one. I have one for everybody. Your name's at the top.
Go ahead.
And I would like those back, please. Thank you. I'm here today because I no longer believe that you are upholding your oaths of office that you swore to follow. An oath is not a formality. It is a binding promise to the people of this county, and we expect it to be honored. Time and time again, your actions show that you are not listening to the wishes of your constituents. You are making decisions without considering the impact of the people you serve, and we're tired of being ignored, dismissed, and shut out of the processes. We're paying attention now. We're organized and we're fed up. We will not continue supporting officials who refuse to represent us. If you will not honor your oath and you stand with the people of your county, then we will vote you out and you will be replaced with representatives who will. But I will tell you this, I know some of you, your term's up and you won't be able to be back. I want to add that I attended the Murray County meeting last Thursday night. The people stood up and said no to a bio-waste facility. And if you would have been there and heard the presentation that Vanguard gave those folks, they thought they were going to come in and these folks were country and they didn't know what was going to happen. But let me tell you something, those people came with receipts, they came with facts, and they shut that down. And you know what their commissioner did? The commissioner stood with the people. They don't want it in Murray County, and I'm just here to let y'all know we don't want it in Whitfield either. Before it comes this way, since they've said no over there, y'all put these data centers in, we didn't want them. We don't want a bio-waste facility either. I've got these. There will be some things coming up in the near future. I think y'all need to honor your oaths. If you sign these and you mean it, you better stand with the people. Thank you.
Any other public comments?
I just have one about open.
We don't, well.
I just have one more
not really
comment
supposed
to
come up
make.
Twice.
As far as Carbondale and the south end of the county is concerned. My great-grandparents, my grandparents, my parents all lived in Carbondale and the Red Wine Cove. That's where I grew up. It was beautiful country at one time, but it's slowly but surely going away. And there's so much contamination down there. I have a brother who's fighting a cancer battle. My mother died from cancer. I've had breast cancer. This is all because of the contamination that's been sprung on all of us by the carpet industry, the flooring industry. And has it created lots of jobs and a lot of money for people? Yes, it has, but not without health consequences. So before you consider approving anything else, going down to Carbondale, Tilton, South River Bend, please consider the people that live there and the consequences of the things that this has caused. Just please consider your constituents. They're people, they're human beings, their lives matter. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Going once?
Can I ask
Twice?
one question?
After we adjourn. Motion to adjourn by Greg. We're adjourned.